plants, it's Kenny's Place.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
Located in Ocala, Renstar Medical Research has offered a wide range of clinical research trials for 17 years. Renstar conducts clinical trials for conditions such as migraines, memory decline, fibromyalgia, and sun-damaged skin. To learn more, call Renstar at 352-629-5800. Help us create a healthier tomorrow by volunteering today. Please call Renstar at 352-629-5800.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I saw a movie trailer for a movie, and I just did a real quick Google search to see if I could get the name of the movie. I think it might be called The Age of Love. I am not so sure, but anyway, and I might be wrong about the title, but the idea is kind of the same. It's this older lady, and she's a pretty older lady, and she's looking for a date, I guess, because her husband, she's a widow, and I guess she had a loving relationship with her husband, but now she's looking for somebody, or not so sure if she wants to look for somebody. So she's in this speed dating thing, where you're sitting across the table. How long is that? Like a 5-minute thing, right?
Yeah, it's real quick.
All right. So in the first couple of losers that she meets, the first thing they bring up is sex, and they say, "Look, I'm too old to be playing games. Look, I'm just letting you know I'm in this for sex, okay?" And of course, then that's she's done with the whole. She doesn't want to have anything to do with it. That's it. You're done.
Yeah.
And I always thought, I wonder, this is such an important part of relationships. I wonder what the real difference is between men and women when it comes to this at any age. Our next guest might have some insight on that. She has an interesting book that is going to be the book that you hide under the covers or something.
Oh, I love this book.
You will read it, and you will say you never read it. Mistress Pussycat is the name of the book. Adventures with Submissive Men in the World of Femdom, and it is written by our guest, Joyce Snyder. Good morning, Joyce. How you doing?
Good morning, Larry, and good morning, Robin.
I love your voice already. I'm already submissive.
Well,
He's a fan.
I'm already submitting to you. So what... Is this a memoir? This is your true story?
It's an expose written in the form of a memoir so that it's not dry. It's more absorbing because I'm taking the reader on a journey. I knew nothing about femdom, which is female domination, as it is called in popular culture, before I began editing a magazine with an audience of submissive men. To research, yes, to research my target audience, I decided to involve myself going to their clubs, going to their parties.
Oh, man.
And it turned my life around.
Was it exciting?
That's why I wrote a book. Oh, I have had more fun. I started this at the age of 60, and I'm 66 now, and I'm busier now socially, and shall we say, romantically now in my 60s than I was in my 30s.
And why do you think that is? And see, this might speak to the thing I was wondering about with the speed dating thing. What, like the I don't remember who the actress was, but it's not important. But why is it that when men come, like for example, if you put a classified ad at any age in the paper and looking for somebody, you would say a personal ad. You would say, "Oh, I like long walks on the beach." No, you don't. Who really likes long walks on the beach? You know, but you put that in there so that the ladies go, "Oh man, this is my kind of guy."
Exactly.
But if he's honest and he says, "Look, I'm looking for sex," I'm okay with companionship too. But there's got to be something in there. You know,
For sex.
to get me in the bone zone, as you say in the book, which I never heard that word before, but I like it.
That's one of my chapter titles.
Yeah,
It's a good chapter, too.
I can relate to that. So, all right, so give us some insight. What did you learn that you didn't know earlier in your life? That's a good question, I guess.
Well, like every woman, one wonders, where are all the good men hiding? It's like finding a needle in a haystack. But if you consider the kind of man who is going to be a little different, a little strange sexually, and in terms of his behavior, they often turn out to be great choices for a relationship. And you can spot them in certain ways if you care to know how to find one, how to spot one, because they don't come out and say, I am sexually submissive, I want to be paddled, I want to be treated as a maid.
But is the opposite true? And I don't mean about women and men, but what I mean is if you say a submissive man makes for a good husband. So does that mean that every good husband that I know behind closed doors is a submissive man?
Not sexually submissive. But have you ever heard the term happy wife, happy life?
Yeah.
I think a lot of good husbands try to please their wife.
Yes.
And if you find a man who is submissive and he believes in female dominance and female superiority, he's going to be a pleaser on steroids, and there is nothing finer.
Okay, but how does that parlay into the sexual realm, into the bedroom?
Well, a lot of times they want to do things that are a little unusual. For instance, what's very big now is cross-dressing. A lot of guys want to put on women's clothes or be made to put on women's clothes. It's called forced feminization. And I dated a guy like that decades ago. And I just didn't get it. I was like, well, why do you want to put on my pantyhose? You'll just rip it. I don't want ripped pantyhose.
Well, one of those politicians now that are running for president wear like 3-inch heel shoes. And I can't remember who it was.
Really?
Was it Mark? It was in our news bites today, and I didn't get to that story. So
he wants to be taller.
Submissive? Oh, okay.
It's very common to find men who are sexually submissive, and they're not ordinarily milquetoast guys in real life. In real life, they are usually very powerful, very successful. In this sense, 50 Shades of Grey has it backwards. A man like Christian Grey would typically be submissive and not dominant.
Oh, he was that's a horrible character. I didn't like him. He was mean to that lady.
Mm-hmm.
It's so unrealistic because men with real money do not go out of their way to solicit unusual sex with women they call vanilla. They keep it within the lifestyle because it will get out. And these men are closeted. They do not want people to know that they get off wearing pantyhose, 3-inch heels, want to be paddled, and other things that are so unusual, we can't say them on radio, but they would not.
But they're in the book.
Do women come to this conclusion after they have lived out their fantasies of the bad boy syndrome? Because so many women are attracted to bad boys before they're attracted to the good fellas.
I think there are a lot of just plain jerks around, and women have become accustomed to bad behavior. They have become accustomed to brutal sex because of the popularity of these gonzo, as they're called, X-rated films, and they need to know that there is another kind of man who wants to obey them, who wants to serve them, who think women are superior, and they're going to go out of their way to serve that woman as though they were the knight in shining armor. And so what if he bows down to high heels and he is kind of like a shoe or foot fetishist? You're going to love what comes with it.
But are they married to the ladies you're describing, or are they paying for them?
Well, that gets into the subject of lifestyle doms versus pro-doms. A lot of men, and these are single men as well as men who are married, they will go to a pro-dom, and here in New York where I live, the pro-doms get a couple $100 an hour to have what is called sessions with the man and try to fulfill their fantasy and just dominate them.
My goodness.
And it's expensive.
Sounds like it is.
Sounds like it's
Sounds like Joyce Snyder is our guest. We have to take a little break. Her book is titillating and interesting, and it's called Mistress, Pussycat, Adventures with Submissive Men in the World of Femdom. We'll find out more on the other side. It's an investigative memoir, by the way.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. Clouds breaking for some sun today. There can be a shower in spots along the coast, mainly this morning, the high 71 to 75. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, low 58 to 62. Mostly cloudy Friday with a couple of showers, high 73 to 77. Saturday, clouds and breaks of sun and more humid with some showers, especially in the afternoon, the high 74 to 78. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
What makes male shopaholics harder to spot is how they view shopping in general. Because where women tend to treat shopping as a chance to be social, guys often view shopping as a competition. The fastest way to lose weight is to avoid all meat and dairy products. Whether your partner shaved a few points off his golf score or she got a promotion at work, the way you react is even more important than how you react during a crisis.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Enrich your life at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. Here, century-old oak trees surround stunning homes, the finest resort-style amenities, and a stately clubhouse. Our exceptional golf course will host the 2016 Coates Golf Championship presented by R&L Carriers. And here you can savor a luxurious lifestyle that's second to none. Call 352-369-6969 for more information on our available real estate options and to schedule a home tour.
Hey Ocala, this is Kelly Hart, Executive Editor of Ocala Magazine. Did you know last year Ocala Magazine won more awards in excellence than any other publication in Florida? And this year, Ocala Magazine was named Best Consumer Magazine in the state. Now you can join me every Friday at 10 a.m. on Ocala Magazine Radio, where we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life, right here on The Source. Ocala Magazine thanks you for making us #1. And remember, there is only one Ocala Magazine.
All right, 13 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Joyce Snyder is on the phone. She has written a book called Mistress, Pussycat, Adventures with Submissive Men in the World of Femdom. Joyce, by the way, is an editor, a journalist, an award-winning writer, and a producer of erotic films.
Yes.
And so did all of this start just for you after you turned 60, or were you doing some of this before then?
I didn't even know about this, and I had been in adult entertainment for decades, and I knew that pro-doms existed, but I never knew about lifestyle doms, which is what I am and what I became after investigating this lifestyle. In fact, the average lifestyle dom is over 40, certainly, because it can take decades before women recognize and develop the confidence to act on their natural dominance and then learn to actualize it, because it's the woman's cocky and severe, self-assured manner, not her age, not her appearance, that keeps submissive men coming back.
So should the woman, like after after they get to know each other and they do get married or they're in a long-term relationship, should a woman just go to buy some stuff and then come home with it and say, hey, you want to try this? Or are there hints from the fellow?
Yeah, what are the hints?
I think choosing the right man is important to this, and I think it's good for women to know the signs of who is a submissive man, because no man, when they're first starting to date a woman, says, I like to do this, I like to do that. The woman is going to go, ooh, and that will be that.
Okay, but beyond, outside the bedroom, so let's say that's the thing. Dr. Ruth one time said that fantasies are great, but act them out with somebody you are already in a relationship with, rather than risking losing their relationship by going outside the marriage to fulfill your fantasies. So, and she basically, her advice was to tell each other what your fantasies are and each respect the fantasy and kind of go through with it. But, okay, so what I wanted to ask...
I think that's great advice. But also, I think people should get help with this, not just reading my book, which is the first comprehensive book about femdom and the men who love female domination. But you're in Florida. Do you know there are 4 chapters of Club Fem in your state? And what
do they do?
Club Fem. Okay. Well, Club Fem is a club, and there's one here in Manhattan, and I would go to their parties all the time, and I write about their wild, unbelievable parties in my book, Mistress, Pussycat. But they are dedicated to, well, I'll just explain their slogan to it. Their slogan is women enslaving men.
Okay, but is it? Are you playing? This is okay. Here's the question. Maybe I can understand this as a playful time. You're behind closed doors. It's time to let your hair down, and you and your wife are going to do this. But what about, when the salesman comes to the door? I mean, doesn't the man become, okay, look, I'm going to dominate right here. You talk to the guy at the door, look, we don't want any, get out of here. Or do you let her dominate in every aspect of your life?
Good question.
Is she the one dealing with the IRS? Is she the one dealing with with intruders if they come in the house? That kind of thing.
Well, there are degrees to it. Now, some men want just scenes. If it's done by a lifestyle dom, it's called a scene. If you go to pro dom, your experience is called a session. The fantasy would become a scene. However, there are many men who are so extreme that they want something called a TPE, a total power exchange. And in that scenario, the woman does handle every aspect of his life and handles the bills, handles the IRS, tells him what to eat, what to wear, controls all his money.
It doesn't sound healthy, though. Shouldn't people share?
Yeah, that sounds weird to me, yeah.
It's very weird, but there are a lot of men, and some are very wealthy and powerful, who would give up their entire functional life of sharing with a caring wife to enter into a TPE, and they just want to be controlled. There is an organization for men and women like this called Masters and Slaves Together, and there are 100 chapters of people who are into consensual slavery. They want to be controlled by someone. 100 chapters in America, and there are 10 in the state of Florida now.
Oh my goodness.
What happens when children come on the scene? Does that adjust the lifestyle of the adults, or do the adults still do what they do even with the children around?
Well, it depends. If they are entire 24/7 lifestyle dominant. I know a couple in Brooklyn. They have a townhouse, and they're raising 2 kids, and both of them have very, very responsible jobs. People wonder, how do they do it all? Well, they have 3 to 4 consensual slaves doing the child care, doing the cleaning, doing the cooking, doing the shopping. So when they come home from their high-paying job, everything is taken care of. Now, these slaves are other people who are making good money in Manhattan, but they have this need inside to serve others. And guess what? There's no sex involved. They just want to serve.
Okay, well, I can understand wanting to serve. I mean, that doesn't seem such a
job.
So hard to imagine. Okay, so you wrote the book as a memoir so that we would understand this, and you basically are saying, well, not necessarily in the book, but in the promo material that was sent, because I know that it kind of is a little different in the promo material than the book itself. The book is hot, by the way. but basically, you're using this new understanding that you have of my half of the species as a way to help ladies find somebody who might be better for them than the jerk, as you said.
Yes, you really should consider these sexually submissive men, because I think he'll stay and not stray. Men like that appreciate so much that the woman understands them sexually and is willing to go along with and participate in what satisfies them, that they're not going to always be looking at the youngest, best looking in a bikini. A lot of these dominant women who are really happily married, they are not thin, they are not young, they are not particularly successful.
Does your voice stay sweet? Like right now, you have a sweet voice. Does it stay sweet?
Thank you.
I mean, right at that, when you're doing this, do you like yell or do you get catty or something?
I think when I do this, I retain my sweet Southern personality, because it's not worth it for me to lose myself, my essence. They respond to firm femininity. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to be nasty to get a response from a submissive man. You can just lead them around by sweet suggestion, and they are very happy to please.
Oh, since women are in the dominant role, do more, the women seem to be happy with this relationship, but don't you think they would stray since they feel, oh, I got him, now let's see who else I can get and have somebody on the side?
Women who are lifestyle doms aren't really monogamous. The general rule is, because there are so many more submissive men than dominant women, a dominant woman who is a lifestyler will have her car sub, she'll have her shopping sub, who has a little money to take her shopping. I say car sub because here in Manhattan, it's very unusual to have cars. She'll have her massage sub, the guy who gives her the great massage. Uh-huh. She has maybe 3 or 4 guys who are regulars. I don't find that much monogamy within this lifestyle because of the percentages. It's like 5 men to every woman, and that's a conservative.
Gosh.
Wow, I'm looking through the book right now. It's kind of hard to talk and read at the same time.
You write very well, by the way. Very, very good. It is a cool book.
Okay, well, Joyce, in your other writing, I guess, is it similar to this writing, or is it completely different? And do you use a pseudonym, a fake name?
No, I never used a pseudonym. And this is my first book, because when I went through this as an experience, I said, oh my goodness, this is a book. And there are a lot of erotic stories about female domination, but there was no book out there that was a comprehensive kind of expose about all facets of femdom, including things like adult babies. I went to a convention of adult babies, and I did this as part of my curiosity, not
sure.
Because, yes, and I learned all about them, and I wrote about them in the chapter of the book.
I would have a hard time respecting those people. I would if I saw somebody like that, and then the next day I went to court, and he was the judge. I was like, holy cow, that's that same guy I saw in a diaper yesterday. I would have a hard time.
You should see these guys out of their clothes, out of their diapers. They are, some of them are really substantial people, intelligent people.
Are they running for office?
I got interested in it because I met a man who was retired armed forces, and that's what he wanted to do with the rest of his life.
Men are really weird, aren't we? We are really weird, aren't we, us men?
Does this cross over into same-sex relationships, this lifestyle?
Oh, man.
There are some, with the men who are gay, it's big. Bondage, discipline, submission, even consensual slavery is very major in the homosexual community. Not so much with the women.
With the women.
Oh, wow. Boy. All right.
I love this.
You have
I love this interview.
You have a website. Your website is JoyceSnyderNYC.com, as in New York City, correct? I just went to it. I'm looking for your picture. I want to see what you look like. Oh, there you are. Oh, you're a pretty lady. Beautiful. Oh, wow. You got a cute voice. Beautiful. Joyce, thank you for being on the air with us today.
Well, thank you, guys. I enjoyed it.
Fun interview. Now I got to go cool down somewhere. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
From the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. On Wall Street, stocks following global markets south, rattled by the sell-off in China. The Dow down more than 200 points at the open.
As soon as that opening bell rang in Shanghai, complete chaos ensued. The trading lasted all of 29 minutes. Stocks fell 7%, which kicks in the circuit breaker. The circuit breaker actually comes in at 5%. That would halt it for about 15 minutes, but 7% means we're done for the day. So all of that excitement lasted 29 minutes, and in that 29 minutes, there was a mass panic to cash out.
Ashley Webster with the Fox Business Network now rescued all 17 workers trapped in an upstate New York salt mine.